Hi, people. Can you hear me? Hi, people. Is anyone there? All right. How are you doing? Vamos esperar. Let's wait a little. All right. Tell me if you can see me, if you hear me, if everything is working. Olá, boa tarde. How are you? Bem-vindo. Ok, obrigada. Thank you. You can see and hear, so it's all right. So, bem-vindo e bem-vinda. Do you know the difference between them? What is the difference when I say bem-vindo or bem-vinda? Do you know? So, bem-vindo, we use it for men, and bem-vinda, it's for women. So, we don't have only one way to say welcome. Yes, that's it. Exactly that. Good answer. That's great. Just a moment. Tell me, guys, where are you from? Where do you live? Great. All right. Good. Estados Unidos. Okay. And what time is now in Estados Unidos? In the United States? That's fine. Normally you see me with a little delay, okay, but it's normal. Yeah. Okay, 2 hours before. Here is 3 p.m. or 15. That's great. Okay. I will finish this live here on Instagram. Just a moment. Wait. All right. Oh my god. So 11 and 2 p.m. Many different in the same country. All right. I will finish the live here on Instagram. Only to be sure that everything is okay. Then let's start it. Let's start it. 4 time zones here. a little crazy. Okay. Okay. Uh, Guys, I'd like to ask you before we start, make sure that you are subscribed, okay? As many, when I have more subscribers on YouTube, I can do live better and everything else. So make sure that you are subscribed. You don't help only me with that, you help you with Portuguese, right? Because like that I can do more better classes and everything else. So make sure you're subscribed. Uma pergunta, another question. Quanto tempo vocês estudam português? Quem tá aqui na live? Quanto tempo vocês estudam? For how long time are you studying Portuguese? Por quanto tempo? Let me see. Up. Okay. That's great. Then let's start with today's class. First, it's important to say that this is a beginner class, so I have in mind that you don't know many Portuguese, or if you know things in Portuguese, I will explain many things in English, mas eu vou falar português também, ok? I will explain, speak a little of Portuguese, explain things in Portuguese, but how this is a beginner class, I will use a lot of English, okay? And like that you don't get lost. Okay. I will share with you a document that I created for this live class. We're gonna see some points. This class is about present conjugation, so we're gonna see how we use the present and how to conjugate in the present, and the most important thing, how to create phrases, how to start speaking Portuguese, because grammatical points, grammatical conjugation is important, but we also need to learn how to speak or how to apply things in a sentence, in a phrase. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, that's it. We'll start here. Just a moment. Yes. Oh no, so good. Better. Okay, so let's start from the complete beginner. When you think about verbs in Portuguese, it's important to have in mind that we conjugate verbs. So we use the verbs and so we have eu, this is I have você, it's you, mas você we use when you talk about one person, okay? I have ele and ela. This is he or she, okay? We have a gente. It's it means we, but when you conjugate it, we have the meaning of, we use the verb in a singular way, okay? But it means we, okay? We have, this is a gente. It's a little bit informal, but Brazilian people use it a lot, guys. It's very common, more common than nós. Nós, it's we as well. Vocês, it's you, but when you talk about plural, okay? When you talk about more than one people. So, vocês, vocês, ok? Eles e elas, it's they. Então, a gente tem eles, it's for men, and elas for woman. Masculine and feminine form. It means they. But we don't have all of these conjugations. When you take a verb, we don't need to conjugate the same verb for each person like this. So we have one conjugation for eu. We have another conjugation for você, ele, ela e a gente. The same conjugation for three subject. We have one conjugation for we and another one that we use for vocês, eles e elas. Okay? So we don't need to know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't need to learn 7 conjugations. You learn only 4 for each verb. For each verb. Okay, and the verb, when you think about present, it's important to know that the present in Portuguese we don't necessarily use to talk about present, to talk about present situation, to talk about one thing that we are doing right now. We use present to talk about one thing that is habitual for us. It's one thing that I do most common in my life, but doesn't need to be one thing that I'm doing in the real moment. Example, if you say I run every day, eu corro todos os dias. It's one thing that you do every day in your life. So for that we use the present to say, but it doesn't mean that you are running in the same time you say. Okay, the idea is the same in Portuguese. And to conjugate verbs in the present, we need to know about how the verbs are separated in Portuguese. So we have 3 principal groups of verb. So we have one group that ends with AR, termina com AR. We have the second one which finish with IR, AR, and another one IRER. Okay, let's start with this one, the first group. I take the example of the verb amar. Let's see how to create a phrase and how to conjugate the verb amar. How we do this. So it ends with AR, okay, as you can see. So we need to take off AR and we are gonna add the terminations here. Example, for eu will use the termination o. Eu amo. Eu amo. Example in a phrase. Eu amo o Brasil. Eu amo o Brasil. Okay? Every time you learn a different verb or a different conjugation, try to use it in more phrases. Okay? So if you say I love Brazil, eu amo o Brasil, you can also say eu amo a minha mãe. For example, I love my mother. Eu amo a minha mãe. So the conjugation is the same. You use the same verb, the same conjugation. You don't need to learn more verbs to create a new phrase. You create a new phrase with the same verb that you already know. Okay, this is important. It's important because many students tell me that learn a verb, but when they try to speak Portuguese or when they try to create their own phrases, they they are blocked. They cannot think the same verb or to use the same verb in another context. This is important. Next one. So for você, ele, ela, and a gente, you do use the same conjugation. Conjugations ends with a. Você ama. A gente ama. Ele ama. Ela ama. Ok? Example. Você ama seu trabalho. So you love your job. Você ama seu trabalho. Ok? Você ama seu trabalho. Eu posso dizer, ela ama o trabalho dela. Ela ama o trabalho dela. Ok? Ela ama o trabalho dela. So dela, it's like hers. Her. So she loves her job. It's like this. A gente ama. A gente ama o nosso país. A gente ama o nosso país. Okay, so we love our country. A gente ama o nosso país. Mas eu também posso usar I can also say a gente ama o Brasil. It's a different phrase. Or a gente ama essa cidade. We love cidade. We love this city. A gente ama essa cidade. So with the same verb, the same conjugation, we can create many different phrases. Okay? And for that, you only need to use more vocabularies. This is sure. You will need vocabularies to create phrases. But if you know how to say example, if you know how to say father, eu amo meu father in Portuguese it's pai. So eu amo meu pai. You know one phrase. So if you learn how to say mother, eu amo minha mãe. Okay? So you only learn more vocabularies and create more phrases with the verb that you already know, with the conjugation you already have. Okay? Opa. All right. Nós amamos viver aqui. Ok? Nós amamos viver aqui. So we love to live here. We love to live here. Nós amamos viver aqui. Vocês amam. So vocês, it's you in the plural. So you amam cerveja. It's a possibility. Oh my God, I write you. Vocês amam cerveja, ok? So cerveja, it's beer em português. Cerveja, ok? Vocês amam cerveja. Guys, put your questions. If you have any questions, put in the comments. As soon as I finish to explain this part, I will see the comments and I answer some questions, and after I come back, okay? We can do like this. Last one. Eles ou elas amam. Então, then, eles amam estudar português. Eles amam estudar português. They love to study Portuguese. Okay? Eles amam estudar português. You can say, elas amam viajar. Viajar. Alright. Elas amam viajar. So, they, but I'm talking about girls, they like to travel. Okay? Elas amam viajar. And I can create another phrase with this one. Elas amam viajar comigo. Elas amam viajar comigo. Okay? Comigo, it means with me. With me. They love to travel with me. Okay? Or, elas amam viajar com você. They love to travel with you. Elas amam viajar com você. With you. Okay? You have many possibilities. Elas amam trabalhar. They love to work. Elas amam trabalhar. Elas amam viver aqui. They love to live here. Okay? Viver aqui. To live here. I put here more examples with AR, okay? So you have many phrases in Portuguese that ends with AR termination. It's important to say that it works for regular verbs, okay? It won't work for a verb that is not regular. At the end of this class, I will show you some irregular verbs, and the most important, and you will understand. We will see how verbs you cannot conjugate like this. Okay, I will not show all of them because I have many irregular verbs, but I will show you the most common ones. Então, then we have here some examples with verbs that came from the first group conjugation. So we have amar, okay, to love. Viajar, try to repeat with me, okay? To travel, viajar. We have trabalhar, to work, trabalhar. Conversar, conversar is like to talk, okay? To talk to talk with, etc. Falar, this is an important verb. Falar is to speak. Example, eu falo português. Ok? Eu falo português. I speak Portuguese. Or eu falo chinês. I speak Chinese. Yes, Chinese. Eu falo chinês. Ok? Fechar. Fechar is to close. Fechar. The pronunciation is fechar. Okay? Estudar. Okay, to study. This is easy. Estudar. Oh my god. Here. Okay. Cantar. Try to pronounce it. Cantar is to sing. Cantar. Andar. So this is to walk. Okay, andar. It can have more meanings in Portuguese. Andar is a verb that we can use in very different contexts, but I will not explain this in this class, okay? But the principal meaning is to walk, okay? Example, I'm trying to use nós. Nós andamos, so we are gonna use this termination, andamos, as you see here, okay? So we need to conjugate like this. Nós andamos com nosso cachorro. Ok? So nós andamos com o nosso cachorro. A gente anda. So we walk with our dog. Ok? Nós andamos com o nosso cachorro. We also use andar for when you take a transportation. So nós andamos de carro. Ok? Nós andamos de carro. It means we use a car to move. Ok? Is like that. Jogar. Jogar is the verb to play. Jogar. But jogar is... we don't use jogar we don't use jogar when you talk about musical. We don't use for musical. We use jogar only when you talk about games or sports. Okay? In this case, we use jogar. Example, ele joga bola todos os dias. Bola não, let's use futebol. Ele joga futebol todos os dias, okay? So, he plays soccer, he plays football every day. All right? All right, that's good. Then let's create one phrase for each verb that we have just seen, okay? To love, we created already many phrases with to love. Let's try another one. Let's use to travel. Viajar. Viajar. Eu sempre viajo no final do ano. Eu sempre viajo no final do ano. Ok? Então, I take off this termination, viajar, and I use it o, because it's the conjugation of eu. Eu viajo. Eu sempre viajo. Sempre is always. I always travel no final do ano. Ok? Final do ano is the end of the year. Ok? No final do ano. Eu sempre viajo no final do ano. An example with trabalhar. Trabalhar. Eu não trabalho todos os dias. Eu não trabalho todos os dias. So, this is a negative phrase. Eu não trabalho todos os dias, ok? To make negative phrases in Portuguese is very easy because we need only to use não, okay? Não. So you use não before the verb and it's alright. Doesn't matter the verb tense we are talking about, okay? Eu não trabalho todos os dias. I do not work every day. Or I can use eu não trabalho. Eu não trabalho. Opa. Nos fins de semana. Let's try to repeat, guys. Eu não trabalho nos fins de semana. Eu não trabalho nos fins de semana. This is a little harder to pronounce. Eu não trabalho nos fins de semana. Eu não trabalho nos fins de semana. Ok? So I use the same structure. Eu não trabalho. It's the same. But I changed the other part of the phrase. I changed todos os dias por nos fins de semana. Okay? Try to do it. Every time you learn a verb, you learn a conjugation, you learn a different phrase, try to use the same structure of this phrase in another one, okay? If this is not an expression, if this is a real phrase, it will work very well, okay? It will be great. Conversar. 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 I will use this verb in two possibilities. Eu converso com minha melhor amiga. Eu converso, so the termination, AR, the conjugation for eu is converso. Com minha melhor amiga. With my best friend. Okay? The same structure in English. I talk to my best friend, it would be in English, but in Portuguese is eu converso com minha melhor amiga. An example with a gente. A gente conversa sobre política com frequência. A gente conversa sobre política com frequência. So probably you was thinking about, Dani, why here you use converso com, you use the preposition com, and here you use sobre. Guys, one verb can have different, can use different prepositions, okay? It's not the goal of this live to explain about this, but I'm only give you another possibility to use the verb conversar, okay? A gente conversa sobre política, about, sobre is like about, sobre política, about, política, com frequência. Com frequência, it means often. Often, okay? Com frequência. Ou frequently. You choose, okay? Falar, that's okay. Eu falo português, eu falo chinês, eu não falo inglês. I do not speak English. Eu não falo inglês, ok? Fechar, no example with fechar. Eu fecho as janelas antes de dormir. Eu fecho as janelas, so I close the windows. I close the windows antes de dormir. Antes de dormir. Before sleeping, ok? Antes, it's before. Antes de dormir. Estudar. Eu não. Let's try another person. Ela estuda matemática. Opa! Ela estuda matemática e música. Okay? She studies matemática and música. Ela estuda matemática e música. Matemática, it's a good word to training the pronunciation. Matemática, okay? So matemática, matemática. Ela estuda matemática e música. Ok? Try to repeat it. Ela estuda matemática e música. Cantar. Nós cantamos juntos. Nós cantamos juntos. So, we sing together. Nós cantamos juntos. Juntos is together. Let's repeat. Nós cantamos juntos. Nós andamos de carro. That's okay. We have an example. Jogar. Nós não. Let's use elas. Elas jogam videogame, ok? Elas jogam videogame. Elas jogam basquete. Elas jogam basquete, ok? Basquete is um esporte, is an sport, so we can use jogar. Elas jogam basquete. Ele joga futebol todos os dias. Another example for you. Great. Questions until here, guys? Do you have questions? Let me see the comments. Hi, Peterson. Good afternoon. Boa tarde. Peterson. Yes. I think I pronounced it good. Okay. If you have any question, guys, let in the comments. I will continue explain things, and if I see that you have questions, I give a little stop and answer. Let's take it off. Okay. So let's continue with the second part of this class. Okay, the second part. In this part, we are gonna see this verb, beber, okay, to drink. So, beber água, to drink water, beber água, okay? That's exactly we are gonna see. Okay, so examples we have with the verb that ends with er, er, okay? I take the example of the verb comer. Comer is to eat. Comer, okay? It's the same thing, guys, the same thing. We take off the termination and we are gonna add the following terminations here, okay? Second group, it's very easy. The first one will be equal. The first group, eu como, it's like eu amo, eu trabalho, so it's the same. It ends with o. Eu como. Eu como pão com queijo. Eu como pão com queijo. Let's continue. No café da manhã. No café da manhã. Café da manhã, it's breakfast. Okay? Café da manhã. Opa, why I'm doing this? Café da manhã, it's breakfast. Ok? Eu como pão com queijo no café da manhã. Eu como pão com queijo no café da manhã. Great to pronounce this phrase. The entire phrase. Eu como pão com queijo no café da manhã. Okay? I eat bread with cheese in the breakfast. Ok? Você come, conjugation, você come. Use the same phrase. Você come pão com queijo no café da manhã. Ele come pão com queijo no café da manhã. Ela come pão com queijo no café da manhã. Ok? A gente come arroz com feijão no almoço. Ok? A gente come arroz com feijão. Opa! I had problem with that. No. Ok. A gente come arroz com feijão no café da manhã. Ok? Então, we ate arroz com feijão, rice and beans, rice with beans, no almoço. No almoço. Almoço is lunch. When you have lunch, we say in Portuguese almoço. Ok? It's a meal. A gente come arroz e feijão no café da manhã. Nós comemos. So, what's the difference between a gente and nós? There's no difference. We have no difference of meaning. The difference is only the conjugation, okay? Nós comemos, we conjugate the difference, then a gente come. But the meaning will be the same. Nós comemos pizza nos sábados. Vou colocar no sábado. Nós comemos pizza no sábado. No, nos sábados, it's better. Because it's one thing that we do all Saturdays. Okay, so all Saturdays, in the Saturdays, we eat pizza. Nós comemos pizza. Sábado is Saturday. Nós comemos pizza nos sábados. Ok? That's great. Vocês comem pão, vocês comem pizza, vocês comem comida japonesa. Ok? Comida japonesa. I don't know if I say Japanese food in English, but it's like that. Comida japonesa, ok? E eles comem, elas comem, is the same. Verbs that ends with er, okay? Verbs of the second group. So we have comer, beber, to drink, beber. Exemplo, eu sempre bebo água durante a aula, ok? I always drink water during the class, durante a aula, in the class, ok? Eu sempre bebo água durante a aula. If you use another conjugation, ela sempre bebe água durante a aula. In this case, we're talking about me. Ela sempre bebe água durante a aula, ok? So, bebe. Ela sempre bebe, ok? She always drinks. She always drinks. Ela sempre bebe água durante a aula, ok? Viver, it's another verb. I didn't put the translation here. That's fine to have. I eat. Opa. And no. This is to eat. This is to drink. All right. Viver is to live. Viver. To live. Ok? Example. A gente vive no Brasil há 10 anos. A gente vive no Brasil há 10 anos. So, vive. Vive. This pronunciation is a little harder for some people. Vive. A gente vive no Brasil há 10 anos. Ok? Is like for 10 years. Okay? In this case, it will be for. But it can have another meaning. A gente vive no Brasil. We live in Brazil for 10 years. We have been living in Brazil for 10 years. In English, you can use another verb tense to say that. But in English, in this kind of sentences, you use the present because we're talking about one thing that happens in the entire life. It's not only one thing. It's one thing that a gente vive, so it has many years. Is one thing that not happens only the present or not happens only the past. It happens in the entire life, even if it is only for 10 years. Correr. Correr is to run. Correr, ok? Então, eles correm, try to pronounce it, correm, eu corro, você corre, eles correm, ok? Eles correm na maratona de São Silvestre. Ok? Eles correm, so they run, eles correm na maratona de São Silvestre. São Silvestre, it's a famous maratona do Brasil. Ok? Probably you know about it. You probably already have heard about São Silvestre. Aprender. Next verb. Aprender is to learn. Aprender. Eu aprendo português há 2 anos. An example. Another one. Ela aprende a dançar. Ela aprende a dançar forró. Forró, it's a Brazilian dance, ok? Ela aprende a dançar forró. So, she learns how to dance forró, ok? Escolher. Let's use escolher. Escolher, it's a verb that means to choose, ok? To choose, escolher. We have a question in the comments. In a few minutes, I answer, okay, guys? Let me just finish this one. To choose, escolher. Escolher is to choose. An example, eu escolho. No, eu não. Let's use another one. If not, we are going to use a lot of eu every time. So, vocês escolhem o filme que vamos assistir. Vocês escolhem o filme que vamos assistir. So, you choose the movie, o filme que vamos assistir. That we are gonna watch. Ok? Vamos assistir. It's we are gonna or we are going to watch. Ok? Assistir. Vocês escolhem o filme que vamos assistir. Eu preciso, in another context, eu preciso escolher uma roupa. In this case, I didn't conjugate, I don't conjugate escolher, because I conjugated precisar. Precisar is to need. So, I need to choose. Eu preciso escolher. This is another possibility to use the verbs in Portuguese. You conjugate only one, the first verb, and the second one, you don't need conjugate. Eu preciso escolher uma roupa. Ok? Receber. Receber. Receber is like to receive. It's the same meaning in English, to receive. Receber. Por exemplo, let's use minha avó. Minha avó is grandmother. Minha avó recebe cartas com frequência. Opa. Minha avó recebe cartas com frequência. Okay, so minha avó, it means she. Okay, ela. So ela recebe. Minha avó recebe. Okay, the pronunciation is avó. Avó. It's different from avô. Okay, avó, it's grandmother. Avô, it's grandfather. Okay, avó. I will answer this question. Okay, we have many questions here. A question about to. In some books, in some grammar books, you find the conjugation for to. Okay, some regions in Brazil, some people in Brazil use to, but it's very hard to find one people that conjugate the verb with to. Okay, normally they don't conjugate like to. They conjugate like você. Okay, example, você trabalha. So they normally say tu trabalha. So the conjugation is the same that we use for você. Okay, you only change você for to. Okay, we don't use the conjugation to as people from Portugal, as example. Okay. Yes, that's exactly that. Okay, guys. I was almost forgetting this question. I'm sorry. Escrever. Let's continue. Escrever is to write. To write. Escrever. Okay. Escrever. Example. Nós escrevemos uma carta. No, nós escrevemos uma carta e it would be in another context. It would mean like in the past. Ela escreve uma carta para mim. Uma carta não, let's use an email. Um e-mail, it's more common today. Ela escreve um e-mail, it's not uma, it's um e-mail para mim. Ok? E-mail, yes, in Portuguese we pronounce e-mail, ok? Ela escreve um e-mail para mim. Ela escreve um e-mail para mim. Ok? Ela escreve um e-mail para a empresa. It's also possible. Okay? Try to use this verb, this conjugation of escrever in different contexts. Vender. Ela vende. What does she sell? Ela vende produtos de cabelo. Vender is to sell, okay? To sell. I always have this question in English. If I write sell with S-E-L-L or S-E-E-L, but I think it's the first possibility in this case. Ela vende produtos de cabelo. So, vender is to sell. So, she sells produtos de cabelo, okay? So, products for your hair. Produtos de cabelo. Querer, okay. Querer is a verb that is almost regular in the present, okay? When we talk about past, this is completely irregular, but in the present, some teachers consider, some people consider that this is regular in the present, but not completely regular. Look at this. Eu quero, it's fine. You use o, okay? Opa. You use o. That's okay. Eu quero. Ela quer. This is different. Okay? We don't use ela quera or ela quere. We use ela quer. So in this case, this is irregular. Você quer. Você. 1, 2, 3. Você quer. A gente quer. But the other ones will be regular. Nós queremos. Opa, queremos. So this is regular. This is the same. Queremos. Vocês querem. Elas querem. Eles querem. Ok? Opa. So only in the third person, in the third subject, it's irregular in the present. But if you see this verb in another verb tense, may it will be completely irregular. Okay? But in the present, it's easy to use, so I put here as an example. But remember that the third people, the third subject, it will be quer. Quer. Ela quer, você quer, a gente quer. Ok? Ele quer viajar. An example. Ele quer viajar. Ele não quer vir na minha casa. Ele não quer vir, this is the verb to came, vir na minha casa. Ok? Ele quer ser meu amigo. He wants to be my friend. He wanna be my friend. Ok? Ele quer ser meu amigo. Alright? Okay. So before we finish, we are gonna see the third group of verbs, and after I will show you some irregular verbs. In this group, it's the same rule that we use for the others. The difference is the first people is almost equal. Eu amo, eu vendo, so it ends with o, and eu desisto, so it ends with o as well. In the third group, desistir, I put this example, it ends with er, desistir, eu desisto. Desistir is like to give up, desistir, ok? Então, eu desisto, você desiste, nós desistimos, vocês desistem, desistem. The S, the first S, in this case, it has the Z sound, ok? Desistir is like a Z. Como o Z, tem o som de Z, ok? So, desistir. Examples, I put here some examples with verb of the third group. Desistir, the first one. Eu não desisto fácil. It's a possibility. Eu não desisto fácil, ok? I don't give up easy. I don't give up easy. Eu não desisto fácil, ok? Ou então, ele desiste com facilidade, ok? Ele desiste com facilidade. We have some examples of the verb desistir. Dividir. Dividir is another one. Dividir. What is dividir? Dividir is to divide, I think. It's almost equal. Dividir, to divide, ok? Examples. Vamos ver um exemplo. Eu divido a casa. Eu divido a casa que eu moro. So the house I live, I divide with two persons. Com duas pessoas. Ou com dois amigos. Let's use two friends. Com dois amigos. Eu divido a casa com dois amigos. Ok? I divide my house, I use my house together with two friends. Então, eu divido a casa com dois amigos. Let's see an example more complex. Quando eu como chocolate, you remember the verb comer? Eu como, comer, to eat. When I eat chocolate, quando eu como chocolate, eu não divido. Ok? I think this is true. Quando eu como chocolate, eu não divido. Ok? So, I eat alone. I don't like to divide with anyone. Quando eu como chocolate, eu não divido. Ok? Discutir. Discutir. Discutir, I think it would be, let me just put here. To divide. To give up. All right. Discutir is like to discuss. Okay? To discuss. Discutir. Discutir, ok? Nós discutimos sobre a pandemia. Example. Nós discutimos, so we discuss about a pandemia. Nós discutimos sobre a pandemia. Ok? Eles discutem esse problema com frequência. Now, let's use sempre. Eles sempre discutem esse problema. So, they always talk, they always discuss about this problem. This problem, ok? Esse problema. Eles sempre discutem esse problema. Alright? Confundir, next one, confundir. I forget how to say confundir in English. Let's take a break to answer one question. While I try to find what is confundir in English. I forget. Confundir? Alright, so this question, qual a diferença entre dividir e compartilhar? To confuse. Thank you. Qual a diferença entre dividir e compartilhar? Guys, indeed, there's no difference. There's no difference. You can use to divide and to share. But compartilhar is like to share. Então, por exemplo, se eu falo compartilhar um vídeo, share a video, compartilhar um vídeo. Dividir, you don't divide the video, you don't take the video and divide in two different parts. So, dividir has more the idea of separate things. Okay, dividir. But compartilhar, it's like to share with one person, okay? Compartilhar com alguém. It can it have the meaning of to separate? Yes, but not at all. You use more with share, okay? It's more common. Okay, let's see. Let's continue with, where is it? Okay, so confundir, to confuse, right? My friend said to me, confuse, yes. Thank you. To confuse, confundir, to get confused, confundir, tá? Confundir, you can confundir alguém, or you can get confused, okay? When you get confused, we use se confundir. Se confundir. You need to use the pronoun se confundir. And when you conjugate, we need to use the pronouns. Eu me confundo com essas palavras. Okay? Eu me confundo com essas palavras. If you don't know, guys, how to use this kind of pronouns, si, me, ti, nos, don't worry, this is new, okay? This is a new content. This is a subject for another class. But only to have another example, nós nos confundimos, so for the conjugation, confundimos com as informações. Okay? Nós nos confundimos, so we got confused com as informações. Next one, dormir. To sleep. Dormir. Dormir, it's a verb. It has this little star here. This is a verb that it's like the verb querer. This is almost irregular in the present. It will be a regular. The first person, eu durmo. So as you see, we use u. We don't use eu dormo. It's eu durmo. But it's only that. For the other people, it will be equal. Você dorme. Ela dorme. Ele dorme. Okay? It's different only for eu. Eu durmo. Para o resto vai ser igual. Para as outras pessoas será igual. Exatamente igual. Ok? Nós dormimos. Nós dormimos. Eles dormem. Opa, vocês dormem. Example. Vocês dormem muito. You sleep a lot. Vocês dormem muito. Vocês dormem. Opa. Até mais tarde no fim de semana. Vocês dormem até mais tarde no fim de semana. Ok? Até mais tarde is like until later, or you sleep until later in the weekend. Fim de semana. Vocês dormem até mais tarde no fim de semana. It's a good phrase to pronounce as well. Vocês dormem até mais tarde no fim de semana. If you cannot pronounce the entire phrase, try to pronounce little by little, okay? Opa, what did I say? Okay. Abrir. Abrir is to open. It's another example with IR, to open. Eu abro as janelas para entrar sol, ok? Eu abro as janelas para entrar sol, ou para o sol entrar. That's better. Eu abro as janelas, so I open the windows. Abrir is to open. Eu abro as janelas para o sol entrar. Sol is the sun, ok? Para o sol entrar. Certo? Todas as manhãs, it's morning, every morning, todas as manhãs eu abro meus e-mails, ok? Eu abro meus e-mails. Alright, tudo bem até aqui? Assistir. Assistir. It's another example. Let me see if you have comments. Oh, no. So we continue. Assistir. Assistir is to watch. To watch. Example. Nós não assistimos filmes de terror. Nós não assistimos filmes de terror. Ok? So we don't watch. Nós não assistimos filmes de terror. Ok? Elas assistem novela todos os dias. Who knows what is novela? Novela is like a Brazilian TV series. Not Brazilian. We have also many countries that has novelas, that have novelas. But this is like a TV series in Brazil. Elas assistem novela todos os dias. Ok? Ele não assiste futebol no domingo. Ele não assiste futebol no domingo. So, he doesn't watch futebol no domingo. On Sunday. Domingo it's Sunday. last one, last example, partir. Partir, okay? Partir. How could I translate partir in Portuguese? In English. Okay, partir is like to leave. Okay. Partir is, it has to get out as well. To go out. No, go out, no, I think. Yes, get out maybe. Maybe. Okay, but let's leave only to leave. Partir. Ok? Nós partimos de viagem. Opa! Nós partimos de viagem às 8 horas. Ok? Nós partimos de viagem às 8 horas. It has the same conjugation of the verb of the third group, partir. Alright? I put here, guys, a little summary. Yeah. I put here a little summary, like that you have a overview about this word. So we have the verbs of first conjugation, second conjugation, and third conjugation. Okay? You have all the terminations here. This is useful. This is great. E a gente tem noveleiros aqui com a gente. we have people that watch novelas. One people that watch a lot of novelas in Brazil, we call them noveleiros. Noveleiras. All right. Great. Guys, the verbs, I will only tell you a little, some irregular verbs. I will not show you how to conjugate irregular verbs, because this is a class for regular ones. We have do entire class about irregular verbs. I put here only the most common, and like that you can know if you conjugate them. You know that you cannot conjugate them like their would. I showed you, okay, like their would. You learn it in this class. So you have estar. Estar, it's irregular. Estar is to be. We have dar. Dar is to give. Dar is very irregular. We have ser. Ser is always to be as well. Okay. What's the difference between them? A subject for another class. Ter is to have. Ter, it's very irregular. We cannot conjugate as the would. Fazer, it's also a regular verb, very useful, that is to do or to make. So you have two verbs for to be, but in English you have two verbs for fazer. Okay, it's the same difficulty we have. Saber is to know. Okay, saber, to know. And you have dizer. Dizer is to say. Dizer is also a regular verb, very used. Poder, it means to can. When you talk about to be available, to be available, yes. So to can, to be able, to can. Poder. Trazer, it's like to bring, in some contexts, to bring. Ir is very irregular as well. Ir is to go. Verbo que a gente usa muito. We do use a lot the verb ir. Vir is to came. Okay. Ouvir is to hear. It's also irregular in Portuguese, even in English. So This is the most important, the most common irregular verbs. If you see this verb, you don't use this rule to conjugation. It's important to learn one by one. It's important to learn their own conjugation. Let me show you. Yeah, here. Now you can see. So, estar, dar, ser, ter, fazer, saber, dizer, poder, trazer, ir, vir, ouvir. Okay? You have all of them. Do you have questions, guys? Let me see. Okay. So, if you like this kind of way of study Portuguese, if you like to learn Portuguese like this, I will open a new class of Portuguese. Okay, I will open a new class of Portuguese. This class will start soon, in a few weeks, and I still have some places, some vacancies. If you'd like to join, I will leave the link here for you. Let me just put it. Yeah. And I will also leave it in the comments and in the description of this video. So in my course, in my Portuguese course, you have many classes, and you have a class to understand how Portuguese works, to understand the structures of Portuguese. And in the live classes we use the live classes to practice, to speak with each other. Okay, we used to try to create your own phrase and to try to really learn how to speak in Portuguese, or really try to speak. This course is for beginners, if you are a complete beginner, or if you have already studied Portuguese and if you want to review some things, or if you know already how to write Portuguese, or you understand Portuguese but you cannot speak in Portuguese, because in this course we will have many classes, live classes, twice a week, so you can practice a lot. We have classes for review, and you also have access to the recorded classes. If you miss a class, if you cannot be at the same time in a class with the group, it is in a small group, you can review the recording. Okay? So I leave here for you the link to access the course page to see all the details. You can also talk with me. Okay? I invite you to join my Telegram channel after this class. At the end of this class, I will put more exercises about conjugation in the Telegram channel. I share with you guys every day some contents about Portuguese, about Brazilian cultures, pronunciation types, and everything else, and things about my life as well. So if you're not there, the link is in the description of this video. I think I leave it here. Telegram, yes, /Brazilian. Yes, is that. And thank you very much, guys. Did you like this class? Marcos made part of the last class. Thank you, Marcos. This course is great. Thank you, and it is. Yes, we do brackets a lot. We have so many classes, guys. So we got friends in this class. We talked a lot about the things you like, about our life, about things that we wanna do, everything in Portuguese. So we really speak Portuguese, and we really love the structures of Portuguese and put everything in practice. All right. So go to my Telegram channel, guys. If you wanna talk with me in my WhatsApp, you have there the link. I am completely available to answer all questions you have in my Instagram, in my WhatsApp. Okay? And see you next time. May we go? Shall we go? All right. Thank you very much, guys. See you. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.